Who let that old lady on a military range? Laughter erupted from the group of young recruits. They were confident, cocky, full of themselves, until she stepped forward. An older woman, maybe mid-50s, walked quietly onto the range, gray hair, faded windbreaker in her hands. An M14 rifle so old, the paint was peeling. The tape wrapped around it was yellow with time. One officer approached her. "Ma'am, this is a restricted military training zone." She nodded. Calm, composed. "I just want to fire one round. I haven't touched a rifle in years." The soldiers watching couldn't resist the jokes. Bet she learned to shoot back when dinosaurs roamed. Someone call her grandkids. She's lost again. Don't forget your back brace, Grandma, to embarrass her. A recruit handed her an AR-15 with the safety engaged and bolt locked. She said nothing. She checked the weapon. Unlocked. It assessed the wind, and then she stood tall. Suddenly, her posture shifted. No longer an old lady, she looked like a machine from another era. Her breathing slowed. Her stance was perfect. Her eyes locked on the target. A recruit sneered, "If she hits anything, I'll clean every rifle here for a month." The targets were intentionally tricky. 3 steel plates arranged at odd angles, 300 meters out. A design made to test Special Forces candidates. She raised her rifle, no electronic sight, no assistance, just iron sights and instinct, crack, 1 bullet. The first plate rang, then the second, then the third, 3 hits, 1 round. A ricochet shot most trained snipers couldn't dream of silence. The same recruits who mocked her now stared in stunned disbelief, and from the back, someone whispered in a shaken voice, "Sir, I think that was Ghost Recon." The shot was unforgettable. 3 targets, 1 bullet, and the woman, silent.com, just packed her rifle and left without saying a word. She didn't ask for praise, didn't gloat. She walked away like nothing had happened. But one recruit couldn't ignore it. Louis, the quiet guy. Always reading manuals, obsessed with theory. He didn't laugh like the others. Instead, he stared at the bullet path, trying to understand the how. That night, Louis went to the archives, old dusty military files, sniper logs, performance charts. Most people never even opened them. And then, on a yellowed training manual from 2004, he saw it. A photo, a young woman holding an M14, standing exactly the way that lady had stood. Eyes sharp, chin firm, same stance, same calm, the caption beneath. Read, LT Co. Marina Reyes, Ghost Squad, Advanced Ricochet Specialist. Louis's breath caught. No, it can't be. He sprinted to his platoon leader's office. "Sir, I think that woman today? I think she's Ghost Recon." The platoon leader laughed. "Kid, that's a ghost story. Ghost Recon isn't real, just a nickname from old Special Ops legends." But Louis couldn't sleep, so he broke the rules. He accessed a restricted drive only instructors could use. Inside, he found redacted reports from Operation Phoenix, 2005. They detailed a top-secret sniper unit, all women, deployed in enemy territory under impossible conditions. The team, Ghost Squad, the mission. 23 confirmed Hibalu kills. In one day, under direct fire. No support, the leader. Colonel Marina Reyes status, Kia. But one line in the report chilled Louis to the bone. Final shot, executed with advanced ricochet technique. Trajectory analysis defies conventional physics. Shooter, Ghost Recon. How could someone dead still be shooting? Then Louis found a psychological file hidden under the codename Shadow Echo. Survivor shows signs of extreme PTSD. Declined all honors, requested full discharge and anonymity. Refused debriefing. Requested total erasure from military records. It clicked. She hadn't died in 2005. She had vanished by choice. She had erased herself, Ghost Recon. Wasn't a myth. She was alive, and she had just walked into their base like a stranger. The next morning, the entire base changed. A message came straight from the top. The civilian shooter identified yesterday is Lieutenant Colonel Marina Reyes, codename Ghost Recon, commanding officer of the now declassified Ghost Squad from Operation Phoenix, 2005. Invite her back for a live demonstration. Word spread like wildfire. The woman the soldiers had laughed at was a military legend. That afternoon, 120 soldiers stood lined up at Sandridge's shooting range, eyes wide, nerves tight. The air was still heavy, like history was about to walk in. And then she arrived, same faded windbreaker, same cloth wrap, M14, same calm face. She didn't walk like someone who wanted attention. She walked like someone who had seen more war than anyone in that crowd could imagine. The range instructor greeted her with a salute. She didn't return it. She simply said, "I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here because someone needs." To remember what precision really means, the test began. 3 moving targets. Different heights, random positions, changing direction every 5 seconds. No sniper at the base had cleared this test without multiple shots. She took one breath, just one dot, then raised her old M14 crack one shot. All 3 targets dropped. Gasps rippled through the crowd. A staff sergeant near the edge whispered in disbelief, "Only Ghost Recon could do that. Ricochet like that. It's not supposed to. Be real." She said nothing. Instead, she rolled up her sleeve and revealed it. A faded tattoo, silver and black. Ghost Recon 017, the last surviving member of the Ghost Squad. The only one to walk out of the Talker ambush alive. And in that moment, the past walked back into the present. From the crowd, a man stepped forward. Old, decorated. He looked at her, and his hands trembled. 20 years ago, he had ordered her discharge. He had signed the papers that made her disappear. Now, with tears in his eyes, he stood at attention and saluted. "Lieutenant Colonel Reyes, I'm sorry I let you carry the burden alone for far too long." The crowd watched in silence, but Marina's voice was steady. No anger, just quiet truth. "You did what the mission required, and I did what had to be done. The cost, that was mine to carry." Some operations were never meant to be remembered, but the truth had returned, and it stood right. In front of them, after the stunning demonstration, one young recruit hesitantly raised his hand. "Ma'am, why did you come back after all these years?" Marina paused. She looked at all of them the same way she might have looked at her team. 2 decades ago, young, confident, naive, because I heard laughter, not disrespectful laughter, just ignorant. The kind I once shared before I saw what real combat does to people. I came back because you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes, the most dangerous person in the room is the one you overlook. The base commander stepped forward. "Lieutenant Colonel, would you consider training our advanced marksmen? Your experience could save lives." She looked down at the rifle. In her hands, the same one she'd carried out of enemy territory, covered in blood and dust. "The techniques I use were learned in places I wouldn't wish on anyone. But if it keeps them alive, I'll teach." She never wore a uniform again, never accepted a title. But every week she returned, not under orders. No paycheck. No fanfare. She came with an old cloth to clean rifles, and an eye that could correct a sniper's form with just one glance. Breathe deeper. Respect the weapon. Squeeze the trigger like you mean it, or don't squeeze it at all. She never gave speeches, never told war stories, but every soldier she touched shot straighter and thought deeper. And then, one morning, she was gone. On the bench behind Target 3, a folded note was left behind. "Don't aim just to hit the target if you don't know why you're pulling the trigger." Ghost Recon, the base renamed, the range Reyes 017 shooting complex in honor of the one who never asked to be remembered, but could never be forgotten. 3 months later, Sandridge's sniper pass rate jumped 40%. 6 months after that, their top graduates were outperforming Special Forces units. And when asked what changed, we learned from Ghost Recon. No one knew her full story, no official photos. No plaques in DC, but the myth became more than a whisper. It became a lesson passed from soldier to soldier. The most dangerous person in the room might be the one who never speaks, the one who listens more than they talk, the one who teaches through action, not words. A year later, a plaque appeared near the 300-meter line. Some legends are too important to remain stories, but her real legacy wasn't on that plaque. It lived in the dozens of soldiers who now shot with purpose, not pride, who understood silence didn't mean weakness, and who learned that greatness doesn't shout, it whispers, "Be like Marina." Let your actions speak louder than your name, and when they doubt you, prove them wrong quietly.